And number 21, Captain Lily Lambo. And now introducing the starting lineup for the Tanners. Number 22, Brooke Tuzelo. Number 1, McKenna Morrison. Number 31, Shannon McCarthy. Number 13, Jalen Hunter. And number 15, Captain Riley Morgan. Would everyone now please rise and remove your caps for the national anthem.
Welcome back inside the WPMC studios, but just before tip-off, let's send it down to the third member of our crew, Hadi Bilal, to talk about the keys to the game for the Woburn Lady Tanners. Hadi?
Yes, Joey, some few keys to the game. We're going to talk about Shannon McCarthy being down in the paint, and she's going to be a big force down in the paint, and how she can force balls and find them good in the layups. We're also going to talk about another key to the game, which would be McKenna Morrison in the rebounds, and we're going to talk about how good her passing is going to be. Just overall, the energy is pretty good in the stadium right now, and just hoping it's going to be a good game right now.
Thank you, Hadi. Now, as you said, and I think that's one of the biggest things, is McCarthy and Morrison have been that dynamic duo up to this point in the season, and we'll see how they prove to be a major part once again. McCarthy will be the one to tip for the Tanners.
I'm excited for this, Joey. It's been a long layoff, this break. I know the boys team had some Christmas tournament games, but we haven't seen this girls team for a while. Excited for this one.
Watertown takes the initial tip, and we are underway. Top of the key, Riley Morgan once again guarding the ball that goes inside towards McCarthy. It's off the mark and rebounded by Jalen Cuniff. As the shot goes up, and it's good. A three-pointer to get it right off the bat for the Tanners, and we're underway.
That's exactly what our analyst Hadi Bilal talked about as a quick traveling violation. Getting down the court fast, giving it to McKenna Morrison as she drains the three.
Morrison will take it up again. 3-0 early on the beyond the arc jumper was good. Brooke Tuzelo now getting a starting spot here tonight as that pass goes out of bounds and in favor of the Raiders.
Yeah, great defense by Adriana Williams. She really got up in the face of her girl and caused the turnover. But let's talk about Lily Lambo. She is the player for Watertown to look at, to focus on. She is their star player. She has the ball right now, guarded by Riley Morgan.
Riley Morgan has been that primary ball defender alongside McKenna Morrison as it swung the other way, defended by Cuniff, and it's stolen away by Riley Morgan. Right on cue. Morgan finds McCarthy, who's on the elbow. Looking to get into that post right away. Back out from Morgan, who goes back to Shannon inside. The left-hand layup is good. That's her strong suit is that left side, and she proves it right there. And back the other way. Quickly go the Raiders. That layup's off the mark and out of bounds in favor of the Tanners.
Yeah, you saw McCarthy drive all the way around the arc there, unexpected, but find Morgan. Morgan finds McCarthy in the paint and lets McCarthy do what she does best. Gets the easy layup, and the Tanners are up 5-0.
Morrison again slowly taking it up the court, one-on-one with the defender. Another three. This one's off the back of the rim and no good. But stolen away by Brooke Tuzolo. Back out from Morrison, outside for Cuniff, who takes a dribble, swings it into the corner. We go now. Back from McCarthy, who's looking to drive again. This time has to pass it out. Morrison again open for three. No good. Another offensive rebound for the Tanners, leading to a Brooke Tuzolo foul, and she'll go to the line for 2 shots.
It's always strange to me, Joey, when teams don't do their scouting reports. I mean, McCarthy's clogged up in the paint. She looks out, and who's wide open? McKenna Morrison for 3. I don't get it, Joey, sometimes. But Morrison missed the 3, and who was there to rebound? Riley Morgan. Riley Morgan finds Tuzolo falling out of bounds, and Tuzolo puts it back up, and she gets fouled. Great effort by the Tanners there.
Front end by Tuzolo was off the mark, no good. But again, Zeke, we're talking about the strong suits of the Lady Tanners early. Offensive rebounds was an X factor in the game. The last one we did here, pre-break, as the second free throw is good, extending the lead to 6 with 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. The Tanners showing some press here. Tuzolo, who switches with Morrison inside, wide open on the wing, elbow. The shot by number 21 is good.
There she is, Lily Lambo.
That's Lily Lambo, the leading scorer, yes.
Yeah, and Joey, I want to talk about that offensive rebounding. Offensive rebounding, when you think about it, it comes with effort. And they were really good last year with that. They lost some tall pieces, but it's obvious. Coach Steve Sullivan putting in that effort as McCarthy goes tumbling down.
The foul will be a blocking foul, meaning the Tanners fouls on number 24, Sarah Morrissey. That's her first. The blocking foul will lead to an underneath the basket inbound for the Lady Tanners as they find McCarthy again. McCarthy swings it for Tuzolo, who's back to the shooter Morrison. Inside, Riley Morgan on the corner. Cuniff swings it back for Brooke. Morrison shoots again off the front of the rim. Another offensive rebound. Riley Morgan just off the mark. No good and out of bounds in favor of the Watertown Raiders.
You know, a little bit of a wild shot there from Morgan, but the effort on the rebound once again. I just want to point out Brooke Tuzolo. She's been handling the ball behind the arc, and she's been very effective getting it to her teammates, causing problems.
There was a team foul going against the Lady Tanners on that previous possession. Lily Lambo handling again, this time dishes it out to the corner. It goes. The shot is good. Another long distance 3 for the Raiders. Ties the game up at 6. Back the other way comes McKenna Morrison with some pace. Backs it out, the mid-range jumper on the mark.
Yeah, Morrison's really been the scoring touch for the Tanners here, but Watertown stroking it from deep very well.
Off the way to the corner, and it's off the mark and out of bounds, meaning the Tanners will take possession, and we've got the first subs of the night for the Tanners. It's number 20. Number 5, Jasmine Morgan, on that substitution.
Yeah, Laura Bajati and Lily Lambo hitting the 2 threes that give Watertown 6 points. But of course down 2 as Morgan and Amari Williams, the 2 fellow captains to Riley Morgan, come in.
Also Kaylee McCarthy checking into the game as well. Jasmine Morgan hands it off to Morrison, who gets it back to Morgan. McCarthy's first touch of the night. That's Kaylee. who finds McKenna Morrison. Back out to Jasmine Morgan for a three. Off the mark, Amari Williams with a big rebound and a foul called on the floor.
That's all muscle there from Williams. Bodies her other rebounder and gets the ball down low, draws the foul as Coach Sullivan making a couple quick subs.
Watertown foul number 23.
Of course, Coach C. Sullivan's known for that.
McKenna Morrison floating it up for McCarthy on the end of the basket inbound. McCarthy was looking for Jasmine Morgan, who looked to be wide open, but it's a nice closeout there by the Raider defense, and it's a turnover.
Yeah, really couldn't find it there. Not on the same page. But the Tanners need to get it back on defense, as they've done so well throughout this ballgame.
It was number 23, Gara Peshian, who had the closeout on defense. A swing back to the top of the key here. That's a three on the other elbow again. That one's off the mark and right into the hands of McKenna Morrison. Morrison driving, floats it up with the left, no good. Jasmine Morgan fighting for the rebound. It's loose again, and Amari Williams hits the deck, and a left-handed pass from Morrison gets to Morgan. Deflected again, still in favor of the Tanners. McCarthy takes it away from Williams. McCarthy driving in, drops it off for Williams, off the glass, no good, and a Watertown rebound.
Yeah, that's just a scrappy possession on defense for Watertown. Tanners keep getting rebound after rebound. They keep defending, eventually getting the ball back.
Morrissey on the drive after she set the screen at the top of the play, and a whistle and a traveling violation, meaning another Watertown turnover, leading to a possession for the Tanners. Riley Morgan checking back in, and it's another hockey line substitution, as Coach Sullivan likes to go to. Riley McCarthy checking into the first time tonight, along with number 14.
Yeah, number 14, first appearance we've seen so far, number 14, Alina Ayanian.
On the drive go the Watertown Raiders. That one's high off the glass, no good. That was number 12, Caroline Andrade, with the shot off the mark. And Riley McCarthy will handle the ball now with the left-hand dribble. Swing pass for Haley Zwicker, who shoots the three off the mark, no good. Out of bounds it goes. And the Tanners look like they will take possession on the side out.
Morrison, Kuzlo, and Company.
Watertown an early 6 turnovers with still just under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Lucky to only be down 2 considering the sloppy possession. Morrison on the drive. McCarthy back out for Tuzalo, who's wide open. Off the front of the rim, no good. Another offensive rebound. Riley Morgan gets fouled going back up.
Yeah, we always talk about McCarthy down low scoring the basketball. There, a scrappy rebound, finding Morgan down low. Morgan, she gets fouled, and she's at the line for 2.
2 shots for Morgan.
Morgan, of course, we've talked about earlier in the season. She's been the defensive anchor as the first one's good.
Yeah, this team this year, Joey, they're not going to have all the talent in the world like they did it last year with Cindy Labissiere and Megan Quayle. We can go on and on and on. But they sure have the grit and determination, just like they did last year. And, you know, those 40, 50-point wins that they had last year, maybe they turn to 30 and 40, but that's what Lady Tanner basketball provides for the fans every single year.
You talk about that skill, which I think the loss of that creates less isolation basketball, but it's forcing the Lady Tanners to work better as a team, and we've seen that have success early in the season. That's number 5, Victoria Dicker on the handle. She swings it to the elbow. Looking inside, McCarthy with a nice defense on number 12, Andrade. Another swing and another whistle. Coach Sullivan doesn't seem too happy. And it looks like it'll be a push on Woburn.
Yeah, and Woburn really haven't gotten out to the rhythm they've been used to in the last few games. So Coach Steve Sullivan might be a little bit concerned, but I'm sure he's content with what he's seen
Lambo
so far.
swings it to number 3, Gary. Oh, loose ball again. It's Lambo looking to drive inside. The high pass is off the mark and out of bounds.
Yeah, rare mistake from Lily Lambo. She's been doing it all for Watertown throughout this game, throughout this first quarter. But a rare turnover. But not a rare turnover for Watertown, up to 7 in this one.
Brooke Tuzolo also checking back in. Morrison gets a screen from McCarthy looking to drive inside for Tuzolo, who finishes. A beautifully run play by the Lady Tanners, resulting in 2, getting the lead to 6. Back the other way, the quick jumper is off the mark. That was number 2, Williams.
Yeah, talk about McKenna Morrison. Stood up one defender, looked like she was going to shoot, dishes it off, get the 2 points. That's what you call running an offense, Joey.
She had a lot of options, which is, I think, what the pick and roll offense brings about, and she made the right decision there, dishing it off to Tuzolo. On the wing, closely guarded by Cuniff as the ball handler. Up it goes. Not close and out of bounds, still in favor of the Raiders. Back out from the post, it's Lombo. Inside again it goes. McCarthy on the defense, and it's a foul. Tuzolo came in on the help, but to no avail.
Woburn foul number 12, Kaylee McCarthy, her first foul.
Kaylee McCarthy will pick up the foul, her first.
Yeah, Watertown struggling to find points there. Had those 2 3-point shots early, but really haven't got anything since, as these 2 free throws are pretty key for them if they want to stay in this basketball game.
Caroline Andrade scores the first. She's a junior for this Raider team. Off the front of the rim, no good. They swing it back for Morrison, who looks to reverse area of the court here. Now, with 7 seconds, she'll have to get something started. Under 5 we go now. Still no shot. Tuzolo hoists it up. No good. And at the end of the first quarter, the Tanners find themselves up 5, 12-7. Zeke, what have you seen to start this first quarter out of the Tanners?
Yeah, it's been interesting. It's not been the most beautiful game of basketball we've ever seen, but it's scrappy. Both teams really fighting for it. 12-7 game, only a 5-point margin. It's been interesting to see how McKenna Morrison, she comes in right away, makes an impact. I believe she has 5 points, and she's in charge of about 9 of those 12 points that the Tanners have. 7 points for Watertown. They hit those 2 threes early, but they really haven't gotten anything going for them since. The Tanners D has really been stifling, Joey. And that one free throw late, but other than that, they really haven't done much.
They've done their research on someone like Lily Lambo to make sure that she's not getting too many open looks.
Yeah, and Lambo, we came in talking about her as a star player, and she really hasn't done anything. Couple turnovers, great defense by the Tanners. So just keep doing that to Lambo. Keep playing stifling defense. Please keep getting in her face.
We talked about another one of those strong suits being rebounding. We'll send it down to Hadi real quick to talk about how some of that rebounding has benefited the Tanners.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to echo a lot of things you just said. There's been obviously a lot of sloppy play from both sides, but having the 5-point advantage is definitely a big boost. McKenna Morrison getting the shots up 5 points early. It's very good for us in the paint right now. Shannon McCarthy also getting good plays down in the paint. Otherwise, I still see this game can go either way, but it's good that we have the lead so far, and that's all I have to say right now.
Thank you again, Hadi. As we get the second quarter underway, Jalen Cuniff goes over and back, and it's an early turnover.
Yeah, once again, that scrappy play from Watertown.
Lambo will inbound, and we've got an early whistle. And we will redo the inbound. Back to the top of the key, the Raiders will swing the offense. Inside it goes, off the glass, no good. Second opportunity, still no. Rebounded by the Tanners. Still loose, a nice save there to keep the Raider possession alive. Lambo again, guarded by Cuniff. Closely, drive inside. Back outside. Another drive by Lambo, floating it up. No good. Tuzolo had a hand on it. However, it ends up back in the hands of Lambo. And outside for Gary, who swings it. And then we go back to Lambo at the top of the key. A screen and roll. Play set up there for Andrade, who gets it ripped away by McCarthy. Back out. Gary floats it up. No good. Lambo finds it once again. Inside. The swing is good. And a whistle and a quick timeout for the Tanners after the Dicker layup. And it's a sloppy start, really, for the Tanners on defense.
Yeah, geez, incredibly sloppy in the first 110. I mean, a play to highlight it is especially McKenna Morrison getting that basketball. Two players right away collapsing. Lambo and Gary right away just crunching on her, and they get the ball and they go down the paint and have that beautiful reverse layup. I mean, that was filthy, Joey.
Yes, indeed. We'll see what kind of changes the Tanners plan to make out of that break.
Shout out Anthony Giglio, our three-way cam there with Mr. Bilal and me and Joey in the studio.
Morrison back after the break. Tuzolo in the corner. Back to Morrison. Another screen comes from McCarthy. Opening up a three. She gets knocked down. No call. Offensive rebound once again. Cuniff gets it stripped away, but it'll stay with the Tanners. A little bit of a sting there. As you could see Jalen shake that hand off a little bit. Kaylee McCarthy checking back into the game, as well as Jasmine Morgan, who will allow Jalen Cuniff to take a break, which means McCarthy inside, gets it from her cousin, off the mark, no good. Rebound, Andrade finds the open teammate, it's off the mark, no good, and out of bounds. The Woburn foul will go on number 31, Shannon McCarthy. Shannon McCarthy will take a seat after the foul, and Amari Williams will take her place. The left-handed layup is off the mark, no good, and a rebound by Kaylee McCarthy. The long pass from Morrison is for Morgan, and it's a foul, and she'll go to the line. We'll send it down to the third member of our crew. Excuse me.
Yeah, and that play right there, Riley Morgan got the ball down low, and Alana Gary comes in flying. Borderline dirty here as Riley Morgan takes 2 free throws.
6:06 away from halftime. We will hear from the third member of our crew, Hadi Bilal, coming out of the halftime break and some second half keys, but we've still got 6 minutes to go here in the first half as the Tanners find themselves up 5, inside, back out. Lilia Lambo once again handling the basketball, another whistle, and an offensive foul.
Yeah, I mean, this game has yet to find its rhythm, Joey. Teams going back and forth, getting buckets. 14-9 with 5:48 left to go. Let's see if Morrison can make something happen like she did in the first quarter, but it seems like the Raiders have really been stifling on her, and really focusing on what she can do.
You mentioned the lack of flow to this bowl game. I think part of that has to do with the amount of whistles we've had early, stopping the flow. Morrison, though, knocks down a triple from the top of the key.
Talked about it about 5 seconds ago on McKenna Morrison. She is the big player on this team. She's going to get the buckets. Morgan, a strong rebound there.
Jasmine fighting through 2 defenders, and Morrison again running the break, pops the mid-range. It's good! A quick 5-point swing just out of the hands of McKenna Morrison to extend a double-digit lead.
Yeah, Joey, and Morrison finds the open shot, takes a 3, drills it. Goes down the court real quick, drills it. 2 points. I mean, it's been incredible from McKenna Morrison. Howdy, how's the energy down there on that Tanner's bench?
Yeah, I think the bench has started to come alive a little bit. McKenna Morrison with some amazing plays down right before the half spot to end. 5 minutes left in the half. We got a 10-point lead, but obviously the Tanner's starting to separate a little bit. McKenna Morrison doing some amazing things on the court. Still a little bit of sloppy play on both sides, but I think that's going to start to get cleaned up a little bit once they both start to get into the game a little more. So
Yeah, excellent stuff, Audie. And another question for you is, Coach Steve Sullivan, he uses substitutions rapidly. How is he handling that down there?
yeah, I think he's handling pretty well. Substitutions are making sure that all the players are well rested and making sure the good playmakers are out there and doing what they can and getting the proper rest. So I think everything's going well right now.
Indeed it is, as the Tanners have extended to their largest lead of tonight's ball game at 19-9. Nice press defense there by the Tanners, forcing the ball out of bounds. They show the press again. This time it gets to Lambo, who's being guarded closely by McKenna Morrison. This time she gets by, floating it up, and it's a traveling violation and another first half turnover by this Raider team.
Yeah, I thought the refs called a foul there. I was about to say, no way. Kaylee McCarthy playing great defense there. Hands up, straight up, forcing the turnover once again for Watertown as Morrison brings up the basketball.
Inside for McCarthy, the left-hand pump shot is good.
You know what they say, Joey, defense leads to offense there, and that's exactly what happened. Morrison found McCarthy down low, beautiful shot.
The mid-range on the other end for Watertown is good, and a nice answer.
Here's some flow, Joey.
Out of the timeout, and there's the flow. Morrison the other way. McCarthy finds a wide open Riley Morgan, and another easy layup. The pace of this game has absolutely picked up. Another knee under the basket, tipped and stolen by Morrison, who looked to run the break once again. She's got Riley Morgan running with her, and it's off the hands of Morgan and out of bounds.
Great idea from Morrison. Morgan left just a bit too early, as she would have had a wide open layup, but like we said, Joey, this pace has flown by now, and it's all about getting down fast, down the court, finding those runners, receivers like you're a quarterback, and Morrison's doing that very well right now.
Lambo gets it to the top of the key on the pass. Now it goes back to number 24, Morrissey, who gives the dribble handoff to Andrade. The 3 from the elbow is off the back of the rim and rebounded all the way out to Jalen Cuniff. She'll dish it off to Morrison, who looks to go inside again. Riley McCarthy knocks down a 3.
Woburn three-pointer, number 44.
First Kaylee McCarthy, then Riley McCarthy. The two McCarthy twins have been almost a revelation for the Tanners this season.
They've done well rather, without their cousin Shannon McCarthy on the floor. The corner 3 from Watertown is good, and the offense is picked up by the Raiders here in the second half of this second quarter, as Brooke Tuzalo floats one up on the other end, off the mark, no good. Out of bounds, Lambo fought for it.
I would assume after all that action, Coach Sullivan would get some substitutes, and he does, as Alina Ayanian comes back in the game. He must be scratching his head after all that action in a row.
It will remain Watertown possession, meaning that Lambo will take the side out inbound. Gary swings it Inside back to Lambo. It goes inside for Morrissey, who gets her shot blocked by McCarthy. And a whistle and a double dribble will go against Riley, meaning it's another Tanner turnover.
Yeah, but a hell of a play by Riley McCarthy. I mean, Sarah Morrissey had her down low, wide open. Riley McCarthy comes over, one dribble, swats it. Unfortunate with the turnover by her, but just an incredible defensive play. A couple plays in a row now.
Back from Morrissey on the drive, and she finishes that time. Oyenian taking it up now with some speed. Finds Tuzolo, who gets her pass picked. The other way, one-on-one, Jalen Cuniff forced to commit a foul to stop the easy Watertown layup.
Woburn foul number 13.
And Lily Lambo will go to the line with a chance to get it back within single digits.
Yeah, a bit sloppy there from Tuzlo, trying to find the runner right to O'Rader as they go down the floor. And Lambo, the best player here, to shoot free throws as she drills the first one.
In for Woburn, number 5, Jasmine Morgan, number 12, Caitlin McCarthy, and number 1, McKenna Morrison.
Jasmine Morgan, Kaylee McCarthy, and McKenna Morrison all check back in, replacing 3 players on the previous possession. Morrison, once again, the primary ball handler. Morrison drives, floats it up, fouled, and she'll go to the line with a chance at 2 from the straight.
Once again, Morrison
That is her first foul.
finding her spaces at will, getting down low, drawing the foul. It's pretty obvious with the Watertown Raiders are who they're scared of.
First one is off the back of the rim, too strong for McKenna. Tanner's up 9, make that 10 with the made free throw by Morrison. Raiders looking to push it ahead with some pace. Lambo again, the primary ball handler, drives it up off the glass. It's good. Straight through the entire defense.
Just reminding everyone to stay tuned. We have Friday more basketball action against Winchester. Double dribble by Woburn. But more action against Winchester. The girls start 5. We'll start coverage at around 4:50 as the boys have a game at 7, both against Winchester. Big rivalry matchups on Friday, so be there for that. Me and Joey will be there. Hottie will be there. Let's have some fun.
Morrison commits the double dribble on that previous possession, but she found a wide open Riley Morgan. Unfortunate that she couldn't take that shot. Morrissey looking for some help. She's got it in the form of Andrade, who swings it back for Williams, does Lambo. Lambo, hard pass inside. Good angle off the mark, no good. Rebounded by McCarthy. Morrison slowly taking it up. Under 90 seconds. She was open at the top of the key. Instead gives it up. The 3 is good on the wing. It's Riley Morgan.
Yeah, Morrison had that open 3, passed it up. Great leader, and Riley Morgan, first shot of the game, drills it.
They'll call it a long 2 for Riley, unfortunately. But either way, still a great shot. Williams gives it up for Lambo.
Riley Morgan in her WWE era, tossing girls to the ground.
The jumper on the left side of the elbow is no good. Jasmine Morgan running the break. Finds Riley Morgan. Morgan looking for a teammate. Gets it to Morrison, who spins. Throws it up to the left, no good. Rebound Lambo. Under a minute to go, 38 seconds and counting.
Look for the 2-for-1 here. And before that, hectic shot by Morrison, but what could you do if you were her?
Lambo looks inside for Morrissey. This time it's stolen away by Riley Morgan, who's been all over the floor to start this game. Morrison.
Might hold for the last shot here.
She will back it out and slow down the pace of the offense here. Lambo maybe thinking about the steal. Jasmine Morgan comes to set the pick. Under 10 seconds with 7. Still dribbling. This time Lambo does knock it free, but it's a whistle. Stopping the clock at 6.2.
Watertown foul number 21.
Yeah, and I will say, Joey, of course, Tanner's up 5 going into the second quarter. They've really taken control of this game. 12-7 has turned into 29-19. A 17-point quarter for the Tanners and counting here. Morrison gets the ball, picks from her.
Morrison does get it stripped. It's Dicker who's unable to get a shot off. But after one half of basketball, the Tanners find themselves up 10 in the score of 29-19. Before we head off to halftime, let's send it down to the third member of our crew, Hadi Bilal, to talk a little bit about the energy switch we saw in that second half of the second quarter. Hadi?
Yeah, so obviously the energy is definitely increased. About 5 minutes last time you saw me on screen. It was a bunch of turnovers, both sides, sloppy play, both sides, but the energy on the sideline started to increase a lot. We saw great plays, McKenna Morrison, Riley Morgan making great plays on defense. Just all around, just a great series of 5 minutes to watch these Tanners finish out the half, and it was a good watch.
Thank you, Hadi. We'll come back to Hadi out of halftime to get the second half keys. But Zeke, let's take a look at some of the offensive output we've seen from the Tanners. Once again, McKenna Morrison being the offensive catalyst. We've seen it again, and Shannon McCarthy there to help, obviously, with those picks and the inside force. But I want to take a moment to talk about Riley Morgan and the impact she's made on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, Riley Morgan's been impressive. Of course, on defense, she's known for what she does. But on offense, of course, that three-point shot she hit and just commanding the offense. She is the leader. She is a captain. It's expected of her, and she's been doing a great job tonight.
Indeed. Zeke, as you said, we'll have a doubleheader coming up on Friday. What can you speak of, as I know you've been keeping up with the boys basketball team up to this point in the season?
Yeah, you know, Joey, the boys team has been struggling of late. They had that loss against Georgetown, 3 points, game winner to win it in that Christmas tournament. In the previous game, they did lose to Chelsea. Ooh, Chelsea. That hurts for me because as an old soccer player, Chelsea, don't want to think about it. But, of course, Winchester, rivalry game. You know, in rivalry games, it doesn't come down to who has the most skill. It comes down to who wants it more. You know, we watched Michigan-Ohio State a couple weeks ago. You know, Ohio State were the 1 seed coming in, but Michigan got the job done. And if Woburn come into that game, both sides, girls and boys, whoever wants it more, if Woburn wants it more on both sides, we will have 2 wins going in to Friday night.
Much to your delight on that Wolverine victory, as it was last night against the Alabama Crimson Tide. But of course, as we talk about the boys basketball team and the game against Winchester, that's one of those games where, of course, the record doesn't really matter. It comes down to exactly what you said, who wants it more. But of course, now we'll send it off to break, and we'll be back a couple minutes before the start of the second half in order to get the second half keys from the third member of our crew, Hadi Bilal. Welcome back inside the WPMC studios. Once again, your current score as it stands, 29-19 in favor of the Tanners. And before we send it down to Hottie, Zeke, what are some things you think you'd like to see from the Tanners and maybe even the Raiders as we head into this final 16 minutes?
Yeah, Joey, what they were doing the last 5 minutes there, pushing the pace, doing what they needed to do to get points up on the board, that's exactly what they need to do to continue in this one, especially when they're up 29-19. They've got that rhythm. They started having a couple defensive lapses there towards the end once they started to score, so it's important that they continue their momentum. Okay.
Indeed it is, and I think that's something that Coach Sullivan knows very well, and I'm sure that was part of his halftime speech. And now we'll send it down to the third member of our crew, Hadi Bilal, to get some of those second half keys from Coach Sullivan. Hadi?
Yes, Joey. So I just talked to Coach Sullivan Lyons, who came out at halftime, and I asked him 2 questions. One of them was, there was obviously a lot of sloppy play in the first quarter and first half of the second quarter, and why do you think that was happening? He said they were matching us physically, and we just weren't doing everything we can to be matching them physically and just play good, hard basketball. And I told him, what did you tell your girls at halftime? And he told me that those exact same things, being physical, get to the ball quick, and just out physical them in every way possible, and I think they can get this game. Back to you, Joey.
Physicality is, I think, going to be a big part, as Sullivan said, and so did you, Hadi. But of course, what comes with physicality, what comes with physicality is, of course, intensity, and I don't think that's something that the Tanners can see slip. And they don't usually try to do that, as of course, even with those big leads, they try to keep improving no matter what.
Yeah, 100%, Joey. And I've known Coach Steve Sullivan for a long time. He coached my brother back in 6th and 7th grade. He's always been about development, getting the best out of his players, but also growing them as the season goes on.
We are underway to start this second half of basketball. 29-19, once again your score in favor of the Tanners, and the opening possession is for the Watertown Raiders. Swing back for Lambo, who looks to drive inside. It's an open three on the elbow, off the back of the rim, no good, and an early rebound by Kaylee McCarthy. A little bit of a slow pass, but it finds Morrison, who goes inside, and it's off the hands of Riley Morgan, and an early second half turnover.
Yeah,
nice play, Hadi, on the rebound.
Yeah, just
off the missed pass.
Shout out our third member, but just a key observation of this game to start the second half. Not the normal starting lineup out there, of course. Jasmine Morgan in for Brooke Tuzlo, and Kaylee McCarthy in the game too.
Speaking of McCarthy, there's Shannon McCarthy on the steal. Morrison again gets her pass tipped, and Morrissey on the drive. Jasmine Morgan catches up. It's deflected by Morrison and taken in by Morgan, who will find Morgan. And that layup is off the mark. Morgan to Morgan connection just off the mark.
Yeah, Watertown continue to amaze me with their sloppiness with the basketball. Can make a ton of silly passes as Woburn continue to try to capitalize, sometimes doing it, but need to be more consistent with that.
But in a way, the Tanners have kind of matched the sloppiness in some of their passes as well, as it goes to Kaylee McCarthy inside, and another deflected pass.
Yeah, I think Joey, but I don't think as much as Watertown. I mean, they're really racking up the turnovers tonight.
This one's a floater off the mark, still loose. Riley Morgan, again, the defensive anchor, coming up with another rebound. Morrison slows down the offensive flow a little bit to see if the Tanners can restart their rhythm on offense. Morgan, over the head pass goes to Morrison, looking inside to get McCarthy going in the post. She finds a wide open Kaylee McCarthy, who gets a wide open left-handed layup. The cousin connection pays off for two.
Yeah, Watertown you know, they have some great defensive possessions and then silly lapses like that where players are wide open in the corner for floaters.
Watertown foul number 5, Baker, her first.
McCarthy has shown multiple times that soft finish with the left.
Woburn, we have Cunningham, Naomi,
Elena Ayenyan checking back in again.
and Tuesday.
Morrissey closely guarded by McCarthy. Back out for Lambeau, who was the leading scorer in the first half. She'll get it back again. Cunniff hits the floor and forces a jump ball. A nice hustle play there. Those are the things that'll continue to make Steve Sullivan happy from the sideline.
Yeah, really impressive stuff from the Tanners defense tonight. I mean, they've continued to show that effort all night.
Morrison once again the ball handler, 31-19 your score. Only one basket thus far in the second half as we're just about almost halfway through. Brooke Tuzolo's three is off the mark. And a push there by Riley Morgan.
Yeah, and as we're almost 3 minutes into the second half and only 2 points scored, let's go over our leading scorers in this one right now. McKenna Morrison with 11 points. Of course, the 3 assists as well. Riley Morgan, 8 points. Tanners with 9 turnovers. There's 60% from the free throw line, 50% from 3, shooting 4 from 8, so very efficient there. On Watertown, 6 points for Lambeau. Garrett Petton has 5 points of her own, but they have 13 turnovers right now, shooting well from the 3-point line.
Pass looking to go inside. Riley Morgan's on the right spot on the drive. Fouled. Going up with the left, but again, another hustle play by the Tanners, which can become a difference later on in this ball game.
Yeah, exactly. And we talk about taking advantage of those turnovers, scoring off of those turnovers. Just like McKenna Morrison can get down fast, Riley Morgan shows that she can do the same as she gets down the floor easily there.
First one's good.
4th steal for Riley Morgan. She's been impressive tonight.
We talked about Morgan making an impact on both sides of the floor. Those are her 9th and 10th points on those free throws. And she's gotten multiple offensive rebounds along with those aforementioned 4 steals. Drive by Lambeau. Loose ball again. Morrison comes away with it this time. She gives it up right back. And the Raiders will take over possession. It goes inside for Morrissey. Wide open 3 is good. A nice answer there by the Raiders to cut it to 11. It was
Kajati
number
with her
11.
second 3 of the game. She's had an impressive few points for herself shooting the ball.
McCarthy waits at the elbow. Thought about the 3. This time pump fakes and drives. Finds a double team, leaving Tuzolo wide open. 3 almost falls, but rattles out.
Yeah, and you could see how many defenders McCarthy tracks with her. 2 defenders out, finds Brooke Tuzolo wide open. Maybe next time it goes in.
Another 3, this one high off the backboard and no good. Morrison with another rebound. And she'll slow the pace down once again. Cunniff with an open 3 off the back of the rim. Rebound Raiders. Slow offensive quarter thus far for both sides. Tanners still find themselves up 11 off a missed 3. Morrison outside for Zwicker. Morrison, hard pass inside, off the mark by Tuzolo. Still loose, and Morrissey comes away with the rebound, and she'll slow it down again.
Yeah, Tuzolo slow to get up. She took a hard hit there. She's back in the play.
Lambeau inside for Morrissey. Got a little bit of a size mismatch on Cunniff, but she doesn't have the ball anymore. The 3 on the other end is off the mark and rebounded by Tuzolo. Morrison handling the ball again, asking for a screen. Here slowly comes McCarthy. Inside for Shannon, and an offensive foul. Defender was in the right place at the right time, forcing the offensive charge.
Joe, and I think it was more than that from Morrissey. I mean, she took that hit from McCarthy and took it in the chest down to the ground. That's a gutsy play, a brave play from the senior Sarah Morrissey.
That's McCarthy's third, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Only 2 more, or 1 more before a foul out, as you foul out with 5 fouls in high school basketball, unlike the NBA with the 6th foul.
Yeah, and of course, 5 fouls. Who are the players that draw the most fouls, give the most fouls, are those centers. So that's who you always got to keep an eye on in these specific games, especially high school and college.
Williams with the handle, finding Lambo, who swings it out to the elbow. Williams comes to the ball again and receives it. Back out, finding Lambo again, the hot hand for this offense, but has kind of been shut down tonight by the Tanners, and a whistle. You can hear Coach Sullivan kind of barking out some signals on the inbound play for the Lady Tanners. And another whistle. And a 35-second violation. Meaning the Tanners will take over possession. And with 2:10 to go, Riley Morgan taking up the ball. Amari Williams finds Kaylee McCarthy, who finds Riley. The twin connection almost ends up in a 3. This time it's off the mark. Another hustle offensive rebound. Riley McCarthy looks inside for Williams, who finds Kaylee McCarthy, who looks to turn around. The left-handed layup off the front of the rim and a rebound. And the Raiders will look to push it on the offensive end. Lambo driving in off the side of the backboard and a rebound by McCarthy. McCarthy had Morgan running with her. Neglects to go that direction. Instead, Riley McCarthy nails a 3.
Big 3 there from Riley McCarthy. I mean, the flow of the game is there, but the scoring is really not. So a big shot there by Riley McCarthy to get back momentum of this basketball game.
Morrissey goes up for a layup, and it's a foul. Sorry, Zeke, continue.
Yeah, and what I was saying before, I mean, the flow of the game is there. The girls are getting down the court and back just very consistently, providing action, but the scoring hasn't been particularly there. Only waiting for the free throw, 11 points in this half so far.
The first one from Morrissey is good. Tanner's still up 13 points with 1:16 left to go in this third. Still a full 8 minutes to go, so nowhere near over just yet, and a whistle. A lane violation, I believe, on Woburn, which will result in another Raider free throw. As Alani Gary checks back into the ball game for the Raiders, and both of the second half at the line is no good. Lambo driving in. Excuse me, that's Bijati on the drive. This time it's out to number 5, Dicker, whose shot's no good. But a steal inside for Morrissey, who finishes. A great play there as defense turns to offense for the Raiders.
Yeah, the junior once again, Alani Gary, as McCarthy drills a jump shot there. But Alani Gary, she's come off the bench in the first half and now the second half, playing very good defense and just becoming the spark plug for this Raiders team off the bench, which they really haven't had in this game other than her.
Jasmine Morgan will take a seat with 37.2 left to go, as Brooke Tuzela will closely guard the inbound. Morrison sticking with some press here, closely guarding the ball handler. Dribble handoff. Back out for Gary. 21 seconds on the clock now, as it's Dicker who will drive and go up with the left and is fouled, and she'll get 2 with 16.8 seconds remaining in this third quarter. The first one's no good from Victoria Dicker. She's another junior. on this Watertown Raider squad, as the second one rather, is good. And the Watertown defense shows some press here with Gary again. Morrison gets by, floats it up, hits the deck, out of bounds, staying with Woburn. 7.6 on the clock.
Just a quick update on the boys game out in Watertown right now. They were up 14-8, then Watertown won on a 16-0 run. Woburn now down 29-23 at half. We'll get more updates for you guys as we get them.
Brooke Tuzolo, the jumper on the elbow is good.
That was filthy, Joey. I mean, to avoid the defender there, get the jump shot up. Exactly what Brooke Tuzolo can do for this team as they try to find other scorers here. As Tanners go up 40-26 at the start of the fourth quarter, Joey.
Raiders unable to get a final shot off there. As you said, 40-26, one final 8 minutes to go. And while we have a moment, let's send it down to the third member of our crew, Hadi Bilal, to talk a little bit about those hustle plays from the Tanners, which I think connect to your halftime thought of physicality.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to talk about the theme of hustle because that's exactly what Coach Sullivan talked to me about right after the halftime. We saw great plays, all players, good all phases of the game, good ball discipline, shots being created, just overall good quarter. Excited to see what's going to happen in the next fourth quarter here. Try to finish the game.
Indeed, we're going to have some great basketball in this final 8 minutes. The Tanners looking to hold a 14-point lead.
Yeah, Joey. You know, the key, one of the keys to this game is just minimizing the turnovers. I mean, they're up 14. They've turned over the ball a couple times in this one, but they need to minimize those turnovers. You take care of that, all that business, and the Tanners have an easy win in the bag here.
Indeed. Time, of course, will become a factor as we get later on in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, just pay attention to Alani Gary. She's been great for Watertown off the bench. Just look for head coach Michael Tempesta to keep her on the floor.
We get started with Morrison, who will get it back. This time inside for Tuzolo. The overhead pass to McCarthy is off the hands and out of bounds. Zeke, you talk about minimizing the turnovers, and an early one there for the Tanners.
Yeah, I mean, Joey, they've created a bit of leeway here as their press is successful.
The jumper by the Watertown Raiders is good.
Yeah, Joey, they've created a little bit of leeway with that 14-point lead, but they can't let it slip away. They've got to have a short memory, have a mind of a goldfish as Morrison drives in. And the foul. Wow, McKenna Morrison.
Chance to extend the lead at the charity stripe for McKenna.
Basket is good for Morrison.
Another leading scorer campaign tonight for McKenna Morrison.
Watertown fouls on number 3, Gary.
She's up to 13 points, along with those 5 assists. But we talked about the secondary scoring at the top of the show, and we're getting that from Riley Morgan.
Yeah, and we're getting that from Riley Morgan. Let's see how Shannon McCarthy can adjust to this one, how she can leave her mark on this game.
Morrissey comes with a double team from McCarthy, and Morrissey gets it back, and this time is fouled, coming up for the layup.
Now, every time the Tanners have scored in this fourth quarter, albeit 55 seconds, Watertown have answered here with Morrissey, and she's been a key to this one too, Morrissey. I mean, she's been getting all the extra effort points, getting those rebounds, put back layups, grabbing all of Alani Gary's, shots, as she's up to 7 points and 6 rebounds.
Kind of playing that inside the paint role that we're so used to seeing Shannon McCarthy play. It gets out to Morrison on the fast break. She's got Jasmine Morgan with her, but the fake pass and the layup is good. A beautiful move there by McKenna Morrison to get to 15 points on the night.
Yeah, Joey, that was filthy. going down the lane, got an option left, got an option right, fake both ways, and say, I'm going to take it up in it myself, and that's what Morrison did as she shimmies right back by Gary there.
Morgan finds Morgan. Back to McKenna Morrison, who knocks down a three. She cannot be stopped.
As she looks back at the student section, she knows whose house this is as McKenna Morrison continues to lay her mark in this one, and she has been the best player for the Tanners tonight and really throughout this season. But Joey, let's talk a little bit about the secondary scoring, if it's even possible right now. Talk about Riley Morgan and Shannon McCarthy a little bit.
Riley Morgan, I know we keep reiterating it, but it's such a strong aspect to have. She's been a major impact on both sides of the basketball.
Yeah, let's go down to our third member of our crew to talk about McKenna Morrison. How's that spark continuing to be for the Tanners?
Howdy?
Yeah, Zeke, that spark is flying. I mean, the plays coming down from here, the POV for on the court. I mean, all the plays looked amazing from her. I'm excited to see what she could do in the last few minutes of this quarter, try to finish off the game. Obviously a great playmaker. I hope she can create more plays, just being more physical, just great plays.
Yeah, 100% Hottie. And Riley Morgan's up to 10 points in this one, as well as Riley McCarthy. The two Rileys really being the secondary scorers that the Tanners need.
But of course, always having that spark plug in McKenna Morrison is huge, as you mentioned, Hottie, but we'll see what happens in this final 6:25 and counting. Morrissey gets it again. She was open on the wing, doesn't take it, instead goes for a handoff back to Lambo, who we haven't heard much of in this second half, but it's a turnover by the Watertown Raiders. And McKenna Morrison handling the ball again. She's got the hot hand, tries another three. That one could have been deflected. Morgan goes for the save, but it ends up with the Watertown Raiders.
Yeah, I don't know if it was deflected, Joey. More like it just slipped out of her hand.
Three on the other end is good, and that's a 6-point swing.
Garapetian with her first three of the game.
Morrison misses one on one end, and the Raiders answer on the other. Ayenyen.
Big possession here, Joey, if they want to keep that momentum going, 5:25 and counting.
Another three, this one by McCarthy, and she knocks down a rare triple.
Wow, you don't see that every day, Shannon McCarthy. Maybe she's displaying a new part of her game that we haven't seen in the past years. But it's going to be key to see how she can do that the rest of the season.
Morrissey gets stripped by McKenna Morrison, who's looking to run the break, finds McCarthy, who gets another basket. A quick five right off the hands of Shannon McCarthy, and it's up to 20,
Morrison to
52-32.
McCarthy. Morrison to McCarthy. Those are two names you expect to hear a lot this season.
To the wing, the left-handed three is an air ball, and another rebound by Morrison. She fakes the pass and will then slow it down. Morrison on the verge of 20 points tonight, which would be her second 20-plus point outing if she can get another basket. Instead it goes to Jasmine Morgan, who knocks down another three. Is it raining? I don't know.
Wow, Joey. McCarthy, Jasmine Morgan. Jasmine Morgan, we haven't seen her shoot much this season at all. She feels the confidence to take that three. Confidence of her teammates, confidence in herself, and confidence in this momentum for the Tanners right now as the whole bench comes in for Coach Steve Sullivan like it so often does.
It was determined that Morgan's foot was on the line, only making it a 55-32 ball game, but another nice jump shot stroke for the Lady Tanners. The jumper by the Watertown Raiders is off the mark and quickly rebounded by Riley McCarthy. Riley Morgan loses possession of the ball, and Watertown on the other end drives, and it's good, and an and one by Garapetian, and she'll have a chance to convert the old-fashioned three.
You know, I was just about to say, Joey, 55-32. The Tanners were in favor at that point, 23-point lead. Riley Morgan running up the court. I thought she should have just slowed it down a little bit. I mean, you have 4 minutes remaining in this game. Slow it down. Don't give Watertown a chance to get back in this game as the three-point play is converted. Now, I say the same thing as Watertown press here. Got to get the ball up the court and slow it down.
Coach Sullivan elects to call a timeout to avoid the turnover. And just as the Tanners look to pull away, the Raiders have gotten back some momentum here late. Zeke, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that, like I was saying, Joey, the momentum, you don't want that momentum. It's there. You can feel it, but you don't want it to build to the next level, to that tier A of momentum, as Watertown could have done in that first half. You know, Woburn shut them down, and they shut them down again in the fourth quarter. But it's going to be key to see if the Tanners can be consistent about it. Joey?
We'll go down to Hottie real quick to get another thought on that, as of course you've seen Coach Sullivan kind of talking to the team all game long. What do you expect here to be said?
Yeah, I'm expecting Coach Sullivan to talk about how, even though there is a 20-point lead, that there's still a lot of game left to play. It might only be 3 minutes, 53 seconds left, but you just got to play hard, finish hard, and make sure that plays are made. Don't turn the ball over, just playing safe basketball.
Well, we'll see how those final 3 minutes and change play out here right now on WPMC. We're glad to have you all with us. Jalen Cuniff drives in, back out for Morgan, who goes inside to McCarthy, spins to the left, and of course she finishes on that side.
You know, I talked a couple minutes ago about Riley Morgan being that scorer right now, but McCarthy needed to find her rhythm and lay her mark on this game. She's starting to do that here as a great defensive play by the Tanners, Kaylee McCarthy, but she's really starting to do that. Shannon McCarthy, three-point shot converted, 2 points on that pass by Morrison on the break in there. Once again, doing a more typical Shannon McCarthy move down low in the paint.
Morrison once again on the verge of 20 points. She drives, this time gives it up. McCarthy again! No good. Out of bounds. Let's see where possession lands.
Morrison happy to watch that roll out as she wants as much time as possible to take off this clock.
Jalen Cuniff will inbound underneath the Woburn basket, finding McKenna Morrison inside for McCarthy, who's the hot hand here in this fourth quarter. This time it's a dribble handoff. Oh, it floats in and out for McKenna Morrison. McCarthy gets the O board and puts it back up in a foul.
Yeah, she's getting points at will right now. No one's stopping Shannon McCarthy.
2 shots for McCarthy.
I feel like she felt left out of the party here, Joey.
She's joined it here late in the fourth. And really when the Lady Tanners have needed it and an opportunity to pull away, as the front end is no good.
Now I think the question is, Joey, when do you get your bench guys as McCarthy's up to 9 points, now 10?
I like those pink shoes McCarthy's rocking tonight as well.
Joey, I know you to have a very good shoe game, so you know what you're talking about.
Jalen Cuniff rips away the rebound, and it's a jump ball, but the possession will stay with Watertown.
Shout out Joey with the red Nike Dunks tonight. Knows what's going on.
Underneath the basket, inbound for the Raiders, and it's a push foul going against Riley Morgan.
Riley Morgan a little too eager for the basketball there.
2:45 left to go. Another underneath the basket inbound. 58-35. Tanners up 23. Before the conclusion of this one as well, we'll look to get you a second update on the boys' game and see if they're out of halftime. As the steal goes to Shannon McCarthy, who drops it back off for McKenna Morrison.
Yeah, Watertown have blown this game open in Watertown with the boys. Tanners are down 46-31 at the end of the third quarter. Ooh. Not what David White and company wanted down there.
Seems almost similar to that Lexington matchup from earlier on in the season, and we'll see if the Tanners can attempt a similar comeback as we head back to the final 2 minutes of action here at Carl J. Torres Gymnasium here on the campus of WMHS. As Riley Morgan finds Jalen Cuniff underneath the basket on the block. Kayla McCarthy drives in, but it'll go a traveling violation, meaning Watertown will take over under 2 minutes to go in the fourth.
Yeah, at the end of this game, we'll get a couple words with Coach Steve Sullivan, with our third member, Hadi Bilal, as he's done great work in his sideline debut. Of course, he's been in the studio. He knows what's up down here, but of course, great job tonight from Hadi Bilal. But you know, Hadi's always tells me, job's not finished till zero's on the clock.
Still 1:38 and counting to go. Garapetian shoots the three, it's off the mark, and an offensive loose ball foul will go against the Raiders.
Watertown foul, number 12, their first foul. Checking in for Woburn, number 14, 33, Bird.
A full lineup change coming in as Coach Sullivan now knows he's got this one locked up. Jenna Bakari finds Alina Yenyen along with Riley Trask and Kaylee Byrne on the floor as well.
Watertown foul, number 3, Gary, her 4th foul.
The fifth being Sophia Olson.
That one's off the mark, and a rebound is ripped away by Olsen. Still got it. Bird jumper. Good.
Woburn basket number 33, Kaylee Bird.
She's got the perfect number for that name in the 33. Out of bounds, staying in favor of Watertown.
It's almost like it was planned or something, Joey. I mean,
I think-
33 Bird.
I think she knows what's going on.
I think she knows exactly what's going on. She's got the shooting form too. I mean, fits right in.
High arcing layup. Another rebound by Sophia Olsen in her limited time tonight. She'll drive on her own. Instead, the bounce pass goes off the leg of a Watertown defender. Riley Trask dives to the floor and comes away with the steal. Back the other way for Olsen, who goes down on a knee to make the play. A Yen jumper, no good. Kaylee Bird, rebound is good.
You know, these last couple minutes of these games, they call it garbage time, but it's the time for these bench players to show what they're about, and Kaylee Bird's doing that right now.
You have to like the energy from this entire second unit of the Tanners as Bird gets another rebound. This one trickles out of bounds, and the clock stops at 23.6. Tanners keeping possession. A Yen drives into some open area, looking for a teammate. She's got Bakari. Bakari driving, finds Bird. Bakari, pump fake, driving at the free throw line. Back to Bird, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 3 seconds, ball loose, and that will do it for tonight's ball game. That shot will not count, and it's off the mark. And your final score from Carl J. Torres Stadium, the Woburn Tanners 62, the Watertown Raiders 35. Zeke, before we send it down courtside, what are your final thoughts on tonight's action?
Yeah, first of all, shout out Kaylee Bird. I mean, a couple hard minutes there at the end, getting a couple buckets. I mean, that's exactly how you take advantage of your time. Sitting on the bench all game and coming in, just laying an impact on this one. But I want to talk about Shannon McCarthy down the stretch. I mean, that was impressive. You know, we talked about joining the party. You know, Riley Morgan was in that party. Riley McCarthy was in that party. Of course, McKenna Morrison was in that party. But Shannon McCarthy late, she felt left out. And she hopped right in. She opened the door, slammed the door shut, and said, yeah, this is my party now, Joey.
If she can play that style of game throughout the entire 4 quarters, I think the Tanners are going to be difficult to stop as we get later on into this season. As even in that playoff matchup against Bishop Thean last season, a lot of the offense ran through Shannon.
Yeah, Shannon McCarthy last year was a big part of the team, and it's no surprise again this year. Of course, along with Morrison. Riley Morgan was a 6th man last year. She was a great bench player, along with Brooke Tuzlow. But it wasn't till now that they started, getting in their rhythm. So it's going to be really important to see how they continue this. Of course, for Winchester on Friday. Winchester, a massive matchup. Coach Sullivan, it's very rare to see him lose to Winchester in the quarterfinals last year of the tournament, he was incredible. But now we have Coach Sullivan and our third member of our crew, Hadi Bilal, down courtside. Hadi, down to you.
All right, thank you. So, Coach Sullivan, amazing, dominant second half here, headlined by your two superstars, Shannon McCarthy and McKenna Morrison. What did you think of their performances tonight?
I thought after the first 5 minutes of the game, I thought we started very, very slowly. I don't think we matched their physicality early, and I thought that we did a better job in the second quarter, and we challenged them at halftime. We got to get more physical, we got to get tough, and I thought the whole team really stepped up and did that in the second half. I think we got a little bit better as the game went along, and then we kind of took it to them a little bit more in that third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, you kind of answered my second question there about your message about physicality in the second half. How do you think you girls responded to that message in the second half?
I thought they did a great job. I think now the next step for us is doing that for 32 minutes, okay, and then not starting slow like we did. But it's a learning curve, it's a learning process. We get a young team, but they're getting better and better and better. And if we can keep doing that, improving each quarter, each game, each week, it's going to be good for us.
All right, great. And now, upcoming Friday, we have a great rivalry game against Winchester. How do you think that game's going to go out?
Winchester's excellent. They got an all-scholastic player and Emily Collins. They got a very good team, very well coached. We got to come ready to play. We got to play for 32 minutes, and then hopefully we can play well and hopefully get a W.
All right, thank you, Coach Sullivan.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Back to you.
Once again, a massive thank you to Coach Sullivan and, of course, Hadi Bilal. The first time we've had a third member of our crew. We're delighted that we could have that close action for our beloved fans. Once again, a massive thank you to Coach Sullivan. He's a great friend of the program, and we're always delighted when we can have him be a part of the broadcast.
Yeah, an incredible performance from the Tanners tonight. Boys, not so much, but they have a chance to redeem themselves on Friday night. Like we said, coverage starting at around 4:50 for Lady Tanners, 5 o'clock against Winchester, and then at 7 o'clock we have the boys versus Winchester. That rivalry game is always good. Both teams, key matchups, but especially the girls one. We talk about Coach Sullivan very rarely lose to Winchester, and that quarterfinal rematch will be feisty on Friday night, Joey.
One final time here tonight from the Carl J. Torres Gymnasium in the WPMC studios. Your final score, 62-35 in favor of the Woburn Tanners. For our entire crew here tonight on WPMC, I am Joey Matroni signing off and wishing you all a great rest of your evening.